Well, it is 11:01 a.m. and I think we've got technical details worked out that we need to in order to be able to present what we need today. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everyone to our Canvas Town Hall. My name's Adam Bradford. For those I haven't had the pleasure of meeting that are on this call, I'm the interim provost and vice president of academic affairs. And I am very grateful to be joined by the fantastic team that has been working on our Canvas implementation over the course of this year. And I'm thankful to them for putting this together today. They have been just heroes and champions in moving us into this new LMS. And I know that they're working so hard to try to support a seamless transition and make things easy for our faculty who will take the next big load here in moving courses and getting things over into Canvas. I know this is some significant work, and I just want to tell you that I appreciate everyone's efforts. They're meaningful, they're real, and I'm grateful to you. I want to introduce a few folks to you. So we're joined today. We've got Doug McGee with us. Doug is and I think most folks know Doug, but if you've been around the institution for any length of time, but Doug is the director of teaching, learning, and assessment, and he oversees the ITRC team, and the team lead for the ITRC team is also with us today, Dr. Lisa Kidder. We're grateful to have her with us. Also, I want to introduce you to the rest of this fantastic team that's been doing all of this work. And if you guys want to wave as I mention you, that would be fantastic so folks can get to know you if they don't know you already. And first, I just mentioned Dr. Lori Astle and Michael Spall, who are instructional technology consultants on the ITRC team. And then we have Mark Cooper, who's an instructional designer. Well, we got a slew of instructional designers with us today. Then Rick Fowler, who's with us. Hey, Rick. Ryan Randall, another instructional designer, and Kathy Levitt, who's another instructional designer. And then finally, last but not least, Max McClure, who is our LMS administrator. This is the team that has been working day and night over the last several months in order to move the needle and get us prepared. I did want to invite my executive assistant, Callie Bell, who's monitoring chat and a few other things. She's got a couple of housekeeping statements. I'm going to ask her to run through those so that folks are aware of how they can ask questions and how we can manage the discussion today. And I didn't want to not take the opportunity right now, besides thanking our fantastic team, ITRC team, and Dr. McGee for their work, but also to thank the faculty that are here on this call today for all you do for our students. I meet with students fairly regularly, and I hear from them about the impacts you make. And I know just how deeply they appreciate you and all that you do. And I want you to know that I echo that and appreciate you as well for what you do. So with that, Callie, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and take us through the housekeeping statements. And then when
Okay.
Callie's finished, I'm going to turn it over to the ITRC team and Dr. Kidder.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Please be aware that this town hall is being recorded and will be published in the ISU archives for town halls. This video and the slides will be posted on the Canvas transition website, which is the first thing that was posted from Ryan Randall. Because of this, we respectfully ask that everyone remain muted during the meeting and will utilize the chat feature for questions. We will answer your questions at the end of the presentation, and I posted chat verbiage a second ago. You should receive a chat from me. If you want to post an anonymous question, please choose me or Lisa Scholes, who is helping me monitor questions. And I will turn the time over to Lisa and her team.
Thank you, Dr. Bradford and Callie, for your work, and Lisa in helping with the questions at the end as well. To start off, you've seen the Canvas transition website on the screen. This is your home base for all things Canvas transition. So it's in the chat, bookmark it, link it, come back. It is updated constantly. So today, in today's Canvas Town Hall for spring, we're going to go over a couple of things, some exciting features in Canvas, some key transition facts that will help you move forward. We're going to do a moving day demonstration. We have this analogy, we need to pack everything up and get everything moved over. And so we're going to talk about what that moving day is going to look like. We're going to talk about some strategies on how to improve your moving day and your specific next steps. And then we'll have some time for questions and answers at the end. So now I'm going to turn it over to Mark, who's going to talk about exciting features in Canvas.
Hi, everyone, and good morning. I have the great task of telling you what's exciting about Canvas. Let's begin. So what makes Canvas so exciting? It brings a fresh, user-friendly experience to your course design. And let's take a look at why. First of all, there's a simplistic design, and this is what I like best about Canvas, is the simplicity of it. It's organized in modules to design your course and create a clear, linear course structure, making it easy for your students to follow along. Next, it utilizes pages. So think of it as a digital book, giant digital book with the next button, and allows your students to streamlessly navigate through the content. And one of the biggest time savers of Canvas is the drag and drop editing. So you can quickly rearrange your content with just a few clicks, keeping your course structure flexible and easy to update. It also has enhanced quizzing. This is a nice feature that offers more question types and even the ability to embed quizzes into your Canvas pages for a more interactive learning experience with your students. And most importantly, it is a system that is student-friendly in terms of navigation. With an intuitive, streamlined layout, your students can focus more on the learning and less on figuring out where to go next. Continuing on, it also has automated grading policies. Let Canvas do the work for you. Set late penalties, automatically fill in missing assignments with a 0 to keep your grades accurate and your students accountable. The speed grader feature. So say goodbye to tedious grading. With Canvas Speed Grader, you can easily view and assess student submissions across all of your courses in one intuitive interface. Another great feature is quick assignment updates. If you need to shift due dates, no problem at all. Canvas lets you update multiple assignments at once, making scheduling adjustments easy. And we all know that accessibility matters. So there is a feature called a line checker within the rich content editor. So that's the edit box that's in your pages, your instructions for your assignments, and your discussions. And this helps you to identify formatting issues that might create barriers for your students, and it ensures a more inclusive course experience. And then there's a link validator, which I think this is a really cool feature of Canvas. So it keeps your course free of broken links. And who hasn't been discouraged by having a broken link in your course, even though you checked it the day before? So this tool scans invalid and missing links so that you can fix them before your students run into trouble. So with these tools, Canvas makes your course management efficient so that you can focus on what matters most, your teaching. And I invite you to just go in there and explore, check it out, test out the features. And next, I'm going to talk about some key facts for the Canvas transition. First of all, and we said this on previous town halls, Canvas will be required next fall. So this means that all courses next fall and beyond will be taught in Canvas. However, if you're teaching this summer, you will still teach in Moodle. The fall semester, your semester courses will be available in early April, specifically during the first week of April. And this gives you plenty of time to get your fall semester courses set up well in advance. Now that we've covered the basics, let's talk about what it means for instructors. And it's important to note that your content in Moodle will not automatically go over into Canvas. If you want to reuse your materials from previous Moodle courses, which we do, you'll need to manually back up your Moodle course and then import that file over into Canvas. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in this town hall. All right, so course preparation is ultimately the instructor's responsibility. However, the ITRC is here to provide you with support. Whether you need guidance on best practices or technical assistance, we are here to help you. And you can start right now by requesting a temporary Canvas course. In Canvas, that's called a sandbox. You can begin transitioning your content from Moodle over to Canvas. And these sandbox courses are available, and you can request those through a special form that we have set up. And I'm going to go ahead and paste that into the chat. So if you haven't already requested a sandbox, we suggest you do so as soon as possible. If you do build a sandbox in Canvas, you'll still need to do a Canvas to Canvas import to get your content into your fall semester course. And looking ahead, it's important to mark your calendars for this special date. The deadline for you to publish your fall semester Canvas courses is August 20th. This is when all courses should be live and ready for students. So that's a new thing with Canvas that you're going to have to acquaint yourself with. When your course is ready, whether it's the whole course, the module, you have to publish that in order for students to be able to view it. And for more information on these details and ongoing updates, as we've talked about before, I want to recommend the Canvas Transition website, where you'll find answers to all the common questions and additional resources to support this move over to Canvas. We're here to support you. And with that, I'm going to turn things over to Ryan, who will walk you through Moving Day, the process of importing your content into Canvas.
Great. Thanks, Mark. So you'll see this image quite frequently in the Canvas transition materials that we've made. We have an extended analogy for the moving from one LMS to the other, but it's not exactly intuitive. So I'm going to explain a little bit right now before we move on. What you'll see next is a video of the actual move, but just to help clarify where things happen before the move takes place. The packing phase, that's all the stuff that happens in Moodle or before. So things like requesting that temporary sandbox course. The reason you'll want that sandbox course, that temporary course, is because you'll want to be able to edit some things like quizzes in Moodle without having any student data attached. Moodle has these really nice guardrails that means that you can't change quizzes after students have taken them. But if you have things like a randomized question, you won't be able to de-randomize it, and you'll need to do so in order to make the move to Canvas. So I won't go into further details about that, but just on the broad outline, there's a reason for why we suggest working in the temporary courses the way that we are. It's because otherwise Moodle won't let you edit some of the things that are necessary to edit. Then the last two things that you can see here, the unpacking and tidy up phases, those are both the things that you'll do in Canvas. The mystery that probably you haven't seen yet is the moving phase. So that's why I'll demonstrate it in this video. And this video is about 4 minutes long, and I'll narrate it as we go through, but I actually didn't edit it. I had made this course. This is similar to what many people's courses will be. It doesn't have very extensive use of the more advanced features of Moodle. So if your course has been well prepared beforehand, and you already have that temporary course to land in Canvas, it can take, like this video will demonstrate, I didn't edit it, it's just about 4 minutes. And that's even with me going slowly to be able to narrate it for you. So the move itself, that process can be quite quick. So the way that this works, what you're looking at right now, we're in Moodle in one of those temporary courses. I have another tab. This is in Canvas. This one, it's empty at the moment. It just has one module, and this is the faculty help module that you'll see in every sandbox course. But otherwise, there are no modules, and this Canvas page is currently empty. Here's the course that we're planning to move back in Moodle. So you can see that there's a Start Here page, there's learning guides. I wanted to make it just a minimally viable example, so it actually looked like a course being transferred, but otherwise it has very little content. And then what you do to actually make the file that you'll move is you'll go to the More menu in Moodle, then scroll down to Course Reuse. Then On the drop-down menu on the left, you'll go down to Backup. If you have a robust set of questions, more than maybe 200, or if you use questions that come from a publisher, I'd highly recommend that you deselect Include Question Bank in that backup file. Then I hit Jump to Final Step at the bottom, and then this backup process, it can take anywhere. Here it's just surprisingly few seconds because I'd done it the day before, is I suspect why it went so quickly. But this can take up to maybe 10 minutes or so. So it sort of depends on the Moodle weather and what is going on the servers for Moodle. But then once it's completed, you can select continue. Then it'll be in the restore page. That's what we're looking at here. And this is a reverse chronological order. So the newest one is going to be on top. Select download. And that's actually bringing that file onto your own computer. So you'll see me download it, drag it to my desktop in a second. Now it's out of Moodle and actually on my own local computer. That's really important for this. Then we go over to Canvas. And in Canvas, we go to the home page. Then on the right, you can see import existing content. Select that first one. You can see where I had done it once the day before. But what you'll do is under content type, you'll select Moodle. It's near the bottom of that drop-down menu. Then under source, click browse, find that file that you've got on your own local computer. Tell it that's the one that you want to use. You'll need to create a question bank. So I just had question bank 1 was something I'd already typed. So I selected that. You'll select all content if you're wanting to move your entire course at once. Then you'll see that it's processing, and it takes, in this example, just a few seconds. Every one that you'll bring over from Moodle will give you some issues, as in it will tell you that there are issues present. One of them is always going to be announcements. Canvas does announcements differently than Moodle. So what we recommend here is that you click on where it says however many issues there are on the right, and then you'll see a list pop up quite soon. I'd recommend that you take a screenshot of that so that you know all the issues that you want to check in your course. And then I'm demonstrating that the content came over. So in a second, I'm going to go click on home, and you'll be able to see that instead of an empty course, now there's modules, each of which has a learning guide. And then I think I click on start here, and then you can see those same things that I had written in Moodle are over here now. So in the space of about 4 minutes with appropriate prior planning, you can have your content moved from Moodle over into Canvas. At this point, you would in Canvas need to move into those next steps, the unpacking, the reconnecting anything to a publisher, to any sort of external tools. There is all of that still to go, but that moving process seemed like it's unfamiliar enough to most people that we wanted to go ahead and demonstrate that and how quickly it can happen under really favorable circumstances. And then as a recap, what you just saw, if you want to take a screenshot of this, or we'll also certainly have this on the Canvas Transition website. In Moodle, what you do is you prepare your course, then you create that backup file of your course in Moodle. You download that backup file to your computer. It'll be a .mbz file. For this one, if you're on an Apple, please don't use Safari. Safari by default will unpack that and turn it into a zip file, which Canvas will be confused by. So even if you normally use Safari for this particular process, we highly recommend that you use Firefox or Chrome browsers instead of Safari. And then now that you have that file on your computer, you go to Canvas, you import that same file from your computer, acknowledge those import alerts, and then you go through the process of comparing that content that you've just imported to what you remember having on Moodle. So that's the overview of that moving process. And up next, Lisa will tell us more about the Canvas transition.
Thank you, Ryan. So as you saw, This is very similar to the things that you do at the beginning of every semester. The main difference is you're going to download that .mbz down to your computer and then move it over to Canvas. There are some things that you can do to improve your moving day. And one of the things that we have available for you to use is a Moodle temp course. So this is just a temporary staging place that you can copy your Moodle content in, and then you can do some really good deep spring cleaning. And the reason you move it into a temp course is that it allows you to keep your older courses intact. So if you get a little too anxious about your cleaning and accidentally delete something, you still have that other course to refer to. This will also allow you to make changes without disrupting current students or perhaps assessment data that may be needed for accreditation. So you can request a temp course to start working and cleaning up your Moodle course. As we've been looking at all of your courses, 60% of the courses will come over very much like Ryan just described. The only difference would be how long it takes for the file to upload and import. There are some things you can do to pack smart. Canvas has a size limit of 500 megabytes. So this is where we want to make sure that we do some really good spring cleaning and get down to kind of a minimalist view. We've been on Moodle for 14 years, and there's a lot of things that have been kept. You can always go back into Moodle to grab another box or another backup if your first one was a little bit too minimalistic. But we do encourage you to really streamline your courses. You should also consider packing things separately. Things that should not be in your Moodle backup box are videos. Videos, if they are in your Moodle course, as in uploaded the whole video up into Moodle, should be moved over to Panopto. If you've already housed your videos in YouTube or Google and they link out to those other places, Vimeo, all those other places, those links will come over just fine. So videos, the ones that you have drag and drop that video up into Moodle, those are the ones that you need to focus on. PDFs. We have an amazing library with resources. There's an LTI connection that can get you into the EBSCO databases, and it's really easy to link to a PDF in the library that our library provides should connect back to the library and not take up space in your Canvas course. The other one to think about is your question banks. So as Ryan mentioned, if you use Publisher Question Bank, don't go through Moodle, go back to the publisher, get the Canvas version of that question bank, and you can pull the question bank in directly from the publisher. If you have a large question bank, there might be some cleanup that you may need to do. If you've inherited a course, if you have reused a course over and over and over again, you may be one of those people that still has questions from 2011. So question banks is kind of something to look at separately as you pack up your course. Here are your next steps. Select one of your courses to start transitioning now. Try it. Just pick one of your fall courses, request a temp course, and try it. Bookmark and review the Canvas transition website. That website is constantly updated, so if you have questions, you should go there for your answers. Request a Moodle temp course so that you can do some cleanup, and request a Canvas sandbox. Get in there and orient yourself to the new interface. Some things are on the left-hand menu rather than at the top, and some things like that. There's also a Canvas Essentials training course that you should all be enrolled in that you will see, so you can go through that we've put together to kind of focus on the things that are most important to ISU faculty. And explore how to take advantage of some of the exciting new things. Yes, a large part of your content will come over in that backup. But there's some new things in Canvas that you might want to take advantage of. You couldn't create them in Moodle, but you can create them in Canvas. So those are some things that you may want to consider. Make sure that you have all of your course boxes. Most of you will just have that Moodle backup file. So some of you will have some other boxes, and that's totally fine. But for the most part, start with that Moodle backup and then think about how to pull things out separately. Yes, you can pull them over a little bit at a time. Again, that's why we have the temporary and the sandbox courses, so that you can play and delete and do things and get yourself organized in the new house without messing up students or being afraid of messing up students. And not to worry, we have a checklist. Right there at the top of the Canvas Transition website, we have created a checklist for you to help you break it down into small, manageable pieces. The way this works is right here, it will link you to this list, but you can actually make a list, a copy for yourself with checkboxes in your Google Drive. You can create one for each of your courses to keep track of where you're at. For each item, you'll also see that there's links to help. If you want to request a temp course, this is the link that takes you right to it. These are also constantly being updated as we continue to build and develop more resources to help you with each step. As you are working through this, we encourage you to come to our Curious About Canvas every Monday or Thursday at 2 p.m. in Zoom. You can bring your Canvas questions. So you tried the backup and you ended up with 7 issues and you don't understand 2 of them. Perfect. Come to Curious About Canvas and we can look at those issues and get those fixed and give you a step forward. You forgot the step, even though Ryan did a beautiful video, and you forgot the one step on how this and it's not working, we can walk you through that too. So we invite you to begin now, to try, pick one course, to get into Canvas. It is easier than you think. And stop by Monday and Thursday in Zoom. This is on the Canvas Transition website. You just click on here and you'll join into Zoom where you can ask all your Canvas questions. So that will continue all through the summer and with additional training as well. And Rick's going to talk a little bit more about that.
Thanks, Lisa. We're just going to talk about a few extra resources that we have available to you. So if you're interested in learning more, you can scan that QR code up in the top corner with your phone, and that'll take you to links for all of these, but we'll also post the links at the end. Tiger Tracks articles. So we have a series of Tiger Tracks articles that talk about how to do things in Moodle and Canvas, Panopto, all of those issues. So if you have any questions and it's after our office is closed, say it's 2 in the morning and you want to know something specific, you can go to our Tiger Tracks articles and learn how to do it on your own. Wednesday webinar video library, and I'll go to the one below it, the Wednesday webinars. And every Wednesday we have a short webinar at 2 p.m. that goes for about 20 minutes. This semester we're going over a lot of Canvas topics. So if you're curious about how to do different things in Canvas, you can look at that schedule and register for any of those webinars. If those webinar times don't work for you, we have the Wednesday webinar video library. You can select that link and see all of the past recordings, and you can also see the new ones. We usually get those uploaded a day or 2 after the Wednesday webinar. So if there's something you're interested in and you miss it, just go there and you can find the link. And how to meet with the ITRC. So at the top, we have our email. This is usually the easiest way to get a hold of us, itrc@isu.edu. You can call us at 208-282-5880. If the lines are busy and you get the answering machine, you can either wait and call back later, or you can just go ahead and directly email us. That's usually the fastest way. And then we are located in the Obler Library here at the Pocatello campus in the basement of the library, room B17. We have a drop-in lab with computers. You can sit with an instructional designer. You can make appointments, on-demand appointments, where we can meet with Zoom, phone, or in person, or you can just do drop-ins if you want to come into B17 and we can meet with you and help you with your courses. And then future Wednesday webinars. Again, we're going to have quite a few coming up that are talking about how to do different functions inside of Canvas. So watch in Idaho State Today. Every Idaho State Today, we talk about the upcoming Wednesday webinar. So you'll be able to see what topics we'll be talking about, and they'll have a direct link to register for the meeting. And then you can always check out the ISU Canvas Transition website. So we're doing our best to make sure that we are archiving all of our communications with campus. So if there's any questions you have, you can go through and see if there's anything there that might have been answered already. And again, contact us if you do have any questions. We'll open this up to questions and answers. I know there's been quite a few in the chat, but does anyone have any direct questions they'd like to ask?
And I'll remind everybody, if you want to ask a question anonymously, you can send a chat to either Callie Bell or Lisa Scholes. There were a couple of questions about how long will I have access to Moodle? And just so you know, as soon as the conversation started, our procedure was to hold things on for 2 years. Currently, we have actually held on to a little bit more because we knew this transition was coming. So we will make sure that you have access to your courses. There will be lots of communication beginning in summer 2025 about when those courses will be going away and you will lose access. So right now, focus on fall, and we will make sure that you continue to have access to your current Moodle courses so that you can get them all transitioned over.
Thank you for posting that. Doug wanted to remind people that we do Canvas workshops for departments and colleges. We've done a few so far, so if you're interested in that, you can find the form to fill out on our ITRC website. If you go to the forums, there's one for departmental workshops. We can come, or we can meet over Zoom or come to you in person and meet with all the people in your department to go over this kind of stuff.
I have a question that I don't want to type out because there's kind of a pause. If we have a course that we don't teach very often and we don't want to lose the course after 2 years, if we make it in the sandbox, will it remain in the sandbox until the course is offered again? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
In the Canvas, if you have a Canvas one, yes.
Yes.
If I have a Canvas on, if I make it in the Canvas sandbox.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's part of the rationale for some of those sandbox. To follow up, JD, you asked a question about course evaluations, student evaluations. We are moving to a new course evaluation system that works with Canvas. And Dr. Lori Ostel is taking the lead on that. And she's been working with all of the departments, and she'll be reaching out to make sure that all the departments have that information that they need. Those will start when we move to Canvas in fall.
One question that I'd gotten before, and I meant to point out during the narration, but I didn't have quite enough time, is we've mentioned a few times that you need to have your course total file size under 500 megabytes. The reuse page that I showed you, where I was mentioning that it's in reverse chronological order, that same view will show you the file size. So if you see that it's more than 500, you can go ahead and save time by start whittling things down. If it's more than 500, Canvas just won't allow you to bring things in piecemeal. So don't waste your time sort of being frustrated by that if you do happen to notice that the file size is more than 500 in that view.
And if your file size is more than 500, you have videos in your course that need to be moved to Panopto. So, Amanda, yes, you may request as many sandboxes as you want. So we know that you're going to all need some placeholders and some of those courses that are not taught as frequently. You could request them all right now and just let them sit there until you're ready to work on them. But we do invite you to start on your fall courses and start on one this week. It is as easy as Ryan showed with the video.
There's a good question from Nash. You're welcome to use YouTube if that's what you prefer. If that's where your videos already are, that's great. Panopto has extra features of, for instance, if you want the video to only be seen by students registered in the course, it can do that sort of permission granularity. And also one of the things that I really like as an instructor is it has quizzes that are embedded in the flow of the video. So if you wanted to have a sort of like check your understanding video that students have to sort of engage with before they can proceed, that's a thing that Panopto allows that YouTube doesn't. I'm really impressed by Panopto, the features like that. What I've found works best, you can edit videos within Panopto in terms of telling it just skip this section. It has a feature for that. I'd recommend, if you're familiar with Zoom, go ahead and just record your videos in Zoom and then put them in the Panopto and sort of take out the bad takes in Panopto. That's what's worked best for me when I've been trying it. So if you have other video editing things that you're familiar with, feel free to play with them and then import that final video. If you have something on your computer already that you like, it will let you upload whatever video you want. But if you're doing something as simple as just sort of telling it, oh, I misspoke in a sentence and I wish I could skip that, Panopto lets you do that quite easily.
If you've already have the videos in YouTube I would prioritize other things first. And if you rely on a feature in YouTube, keep using YouTube, especially if it's a video that you're using, say, to promote your lab or that is intended for a wider audience, like a public greater than just ISU, like recruiting students potentially. But yeah, leave it in YouTube. That's a great place for those videos.
And the other thing I'll add is Nocto automatically captions them. So that is something to think about as well.
Much more accurately than YouTube. If you've ever read YouTube captions.
All right. I don't see any other questions coming in. Yes, medical terminology is a different ball of wax, Nash. Definitely. All right. If you have more questions, your best solution is itrc@isu.edu. That goes to all of the full-time staff at the ITRC so that we can collaborate and get you the best answer. So we look forward to helping you and especially your departments. We would love to come to your department to do training specifically on your courses and some of the nuances that are in each of the disciplines. So thank you for attending today, and we look forward to seeing you through the Canvas transition.
Thank you all. Thank you,
you.
Lisa and team. Thanks everybody for being
Thank
here.
you.
Forward to more in the future.
Great job.
Yeah.